So then, it looks like My Hero Academia begins for 2022 of this anime season. Yo, what's good, it's Aboji Reviews. With some spoilers regarding episode 1 of season 6 of My Hero Academia, you've been warned. And I've pretty much just checked out this new episode of MHA season 6. Let's talk about the good stuff. I think this is the first time since season 3 where the anime starts off with manga canon instead of an anime original episode. It's a great way to get people really hyped up and excited for the future events of this season. Dr. Garuki gets a bit of screen time in this episode, which I quite liked, and we got to see a bit more into who he is as a person. It's interesting because this dude works for All for One and he is the dude who created the Normus, and you had that really intense mini arc in season 5 with Eraserhead and Present Mike and his best friend being a Normu or something like that. It's been quite a while, so I don't really remember that. If that entire series of events can make Eraserhead really teary-eyed, then you really know that this Dr. Garuki has no remorse and he's just not a really nice dude. But then this episode sort of reveals that he opened orphanages and nursing homes across the country. So it's interesting how this dude has a sort of a double life where on the surface he's seen as this respected doctor and beloved by the public, but when you dig deep into who he is and his relationship to All for One and him being the Normu creator, and he has some pretty intense scenes with Eraserhead and Present Mike as he's been confronted by the two of them about their childhood friend from season 5. I really like that scene because Present Mike throughout the entire series has seemed to be this chilled, happy-go-lucky dude, but I always found his character to be a bit one-dimensional and a bit bland, so it's really interesting and cool seeing a bit more development and more personality to him in this scene. Of course, Eraserhead had all those emotional scenes in the previous season, and now just him looking at the Dr. Garuki with just absolute fury was a frightening shot to look at. I love the entire animation sequence of Mirko fighting against the Normus. Some movie level quality animation right there. And it looks like she's going to have some confrontation with Dr. Garuki in the next episode as she comes face to face with him in the end. I love the scene with the Doctor and Shigaraki at the beginning where he talks about Shigaraki's quirk getting more powerful. I love the little line with Shigaraki saying that he will never underestimate heroes anymore, showing a little bit of growth from season 1 Shigaraki, but staying true to his values when he talks about using his new power to turn everything All Might created into dust, also showing us that Shigaraki is definitely going to play a major role in this season, as he does appear in the opening and EDs quite a bit and has some really interesting visual shots of him. But apart from that, let's talk about the bad, and unfortunately this first half of the episode was a little slow to watch. It was kind of boring, to be honest. The scenes with Hawks and Twice talking, I did find my mind wandering in those scenes in the beginning. Most of the dialogue regarding the UA heroes did more or less feel like rehashed lines of what they said in the previous season, just sort of reminding the audience what's happened before and what's going to happen. So this episode was more or less a setup episode for this new season. But with that said, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 and I'll give it a C+. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. I'll definitely be here reviewing every single episode week by week, so stay tuned for that. Like for more anime, manga reactions, reviews, comparisons, breakdowns, rankings and more. But thanks for watching. Boarded Reviews signing out.